Okay. Hi, okay, so we're at the Influencer Conference 2010, and we just got through with 2 great morning sessions. And I'm sitting here with someone who was not only on the panel, but who is a part of the sponsorship of the conference. And so we want to get your feedback. And first, we want to know who you are.
Sure.
And why you're here.
Sure, so my name is Afdhel Aziz. I'm the brand director for, I always mess this up, brand activation, digital and PR for Heineken. There's got to be a shorter title. I need to work on that.
We'll just say you're cool.
Brand director of non-traditional, but no. What I do is I work on Heineken's marketing team. I look after things like the sponsorship and partnerships that we do, the digital stuff that we do, which is pretty new to Heineken actually, and PR, and it's really interesting actually how those 3 areas are blurring into each other. And I think this conference is a great example of those worlds coming together, and I think that's why we really wanted to reach out and help support it in its first year and get involved.
Fantastic, and we're so glad you're here. It's been an awesome experience. You've mentioned that Heineken is new into this realm. I mean, so many companies are. It's a new, special kind of area. Why, or what was the process like? Was it a smooth process, kind of moving into this realm of digital, social media, or was it really bumpy? Were there a lot of mistakes along the way?
Well, I think this is one of the areas where actually the fans were ahead of Heineken. You know, when about 12 months ago, Heineken's presence in the US was basically a website. And we kind of started the whole process of figuring out what our footprint was. And one of the first things we realized was there was already a community on Facebook of hundreds of thousands of fans. Started by, it took some digging, but we eventually kind of managed to get in touch. Facebook are very good about protecting people's privacy, so they wouldn't let us know who it was. It turned out to be this great guy in Canada who was a fanatical Heineken person.
Just one guy.
Just one guy, and his branding was fantastic. He was having the right kind of commercial messaging on it. So Heineken globally reached out to him to say, first of all, thank you for helping start this community. And to cut a long story short, he's actually now living in Amsterdam. And Heineken offered him a job with one of the digital agencies that it had globally, and he is now working with us on that community to kind of keep the whole conversation flowing. And it's now gone up to, I think we're about to hit 500,000 fans globally.
That is incredible.
So I think it was a really nice example of how hopefully a brand can work in conjunction with its fans.
Absolutely.
And count on their passion and pick up on their passion to keep the conversation going and kind of create something really great.
That is brilliant. It's also inspiring. And what I loved about the panel that you were on is that the point was constantly made that you have to be real to who you are.
Yeah.
And here's this person who didn't care if he got any recognition. He just did it because he loved it. He loved Heineken.
Yeah.
And who would have thought that Heineken worldwide would knock on his door?
Exactly. So I think actually I should have brought up that story on the panel because it's a great example of how someone's passion can turn them into an influencer and then turn them into somebody who is working with brands to help communicate that story out, to millions of people now across the world.
So then do you find that his role as an influencer has gone from kind of championing the brand on a personal level to helping Heineken to kind of understand what the average fan or person is about? I mean,
yeah, I think his DNA is baked into what is now our Facebook community. What's happened in the interim, though, is we now have dozens of countries. Heineken is in 170 countries, and we have dozens of countries who now all occupy the same community, and all have their own passions and their own takes on Heineken and their own different ways of looking at the brand and their own enthusiasm for the brand. So it's interesting. I'm an admin for the page, so I can log on and see what people in Slovenia or Australia or Brazil are saying about the brand. And it's fascinating to see that. Now, somebody in the United States only sees the United States, but to be able to see all these multiple conversations going on about the brand internationally is fantastic, and it shows the diversity and the kind of internationalism of the brand.
That's great. And that's incredible that you're the administrator, because you really do get to see everything. Do you then in looking at these other people in other countries, ever feel like you want to kind of unite the different conversations so that everyone can see what everyone everywhere is? I mean, isn't that where we're going with technology, is to unite all of these conversations? And
it is, but it's also a different brand in different countries. In Europe, Heineken is a much more, it's a much larger brand. It's a much more mass market brand. Whereas in the United States, it's a much more premium, and it's a much more kind of, kind of leading edge brand as well. So the conversation is slightly different in different countries as well. That's not to say that we aren't constantly amazed by the great stuff that our colleagues do internationally. Like Heineken Italy had a fantastic viral stunt. I don't know if you guys saw it, but
no, I didn't.
Go check it out. It's what they did with World Cup fans, football fans. And
I think I heard of that. Yes, because it was one of the big campaigns of.
It was a pretty big stunt, so it's pretty cool what they did. So.
And so that's incredible then. I mean, I love that, Heineken is doing such great things for the brand. What I would ask right now then is, where do you see Heineken going in terms of the brand and including users and influencers? And I know you'll keep engaging. I mean, that's not going to stop. But where do you go from here?
I think the really interesting jump forward is mobile. And, if you think about the product, if you think about our consumers and how they consume the product, mobile is actually probably the best space in which to play with, because it's so closely connected to the point of actually consuming the product. Geo web, contextual messaging, all of that kind of stuff. So I think we're kind of walking now, and I think now when we start running, we really figure out how to use this kind of brave new mobile world out there to really find newer and more imaginative and more innovative ways to connect with consumers.
Oh, that's fantastic. Okay, so if you don't mind me asking, who do you find influential? Or it's just inspiration? This one person, doesn't have to be,
one person.
or thing, or,
Well, I find technology really inspirational, and I find actually technology helps you get more inspiration in easier ways. It's finding a filter to kind of get that, which is the more difficult part of things. But on a more personal, I think the person who influences me the most, and she's going to hate me saying it, is my fiance, because she's like a Jedi, so I turn to her and go, what do I do now? She influences me a lot.
That's fantastic. Well, congratulations.
Cool.
I'm sure the wedding is soon. We'll tweet about it.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Enjoy the rest of the conference.
Thank you.
Okay. Bye-bye.